Hey y'all, welcome to the Warm Truth. It's your girl Melisha, aka Mel.
And it's your girl Kim, aka Kim.
Ooh. And welcome to this episode of Warm Truth, where we're talking about burnout.
Yes, when ambition starts to burn you out.
Mm,
So, Mel and myself will kind of talk about how we got to burnout and what we're doing to get out of it and how it feels to chase something that is no longer serving us.
mm, mm. Like it. Okay, well, what point did I learn that I was burnt out? There's several points. I've been burnt out a lot, and a few of my jobs. I've been in my recent job for almost over a decade now, but most recently, physically stress. When they say stress kills, like that is you can't say that enough. That is something that's serious. When I was getting dizzy spells, just literally felt sick. Getting snappy with people. Just did not like where or what I was doing. And it's not to say that I don't like my job. It's just literally being the person, the go to person for everything. Like I tell you all, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm me. I am a boss. I walk into work. I knew it was a point I was taught when you walk into the room, you say hi. Um, and things as of recently, it really irks me now that when you walk somewhere, or it's always a joke, you pull up to work and you get out the car and they just immediately attacking you with questions or problems or issues, and you're holding your coffee, your bag, your whatever keys, trying to lock the door, trying to get to your office. That's me. And I was like, and I would literally stop the person and go, "Hi, good morning, how are you today?" Good. Now, how can I help you? Do you mind if I sit my things down? Um, and literally, I remember sitting in my chair at work and feeling like the room was spinning.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, something's got to give. I got to figure out something. I got to figure out how to manage this. Um, rather that's through, and we'll get into different tools and stuff. But that was the point that I was like, okay, I need to fix myself because that's not good.
Okay. And this was recent.
This was recent, yes.
Would you like to share your age or no? You could
Um,
just say millennial.
no, no.
Okay.
Sharing. I mean, that's it's literally just it was piled on. It's just literally needing a break. Take your PTO. Take your time off. I read something that says Americans feel bad about taking time off in recent studies compared to other countries. And of course, my resources is always IG, so don't take that to any heart. But I believe it. Me myself included, I'm always like, oh, if I take this time off, I got to come back to work and do this. But no, take your time off. But literally, I realized, looked on the calendar, I was working a lot, putting in a lot of hours, and then coming home and still having to be present for my son, for my spouse. And like I said, as of recently, it was just me walking into work one day, getting bombarded, and it's no fault to anyone. I mean, technically it is. Y'all can have manners and say good morning, but walking into work and I was just tired of it, and I got snappy, and I went into my office, and like I said, had that episode when I just felt like my pressure was high, headache, migraines, just dizzy. So I was like, yeah, I need to do something, and it was recent, like probably last month.
Okay.
I think we actually had coffee right after something, and I was telling you the story, and you
Mm.
was looking at me like, "Girl, don't make me come up to your job." I was
I was
like,
like,
but yeah. What
okay,
about you?
cool beans. The only reason I asked about age, not to make you share
Mm-hmm.
it, but I am someone who's quite anxious, and I've known it. But I always tried to kind of just like work through it. So I'd probably say the first time that I was ever really burnt out was probably when I was like 18 or 19.
Mm.
And I was in school and I was just so stressed out. And I was like, I know this is anxiety, but because I was in the military, and because mental health just like wasn't a thing and there was still a negative stigma, Towards it, I was like, I cannot be put on meds. So I went to, I'm gonna call it a resource center, but it was like a resource center for cadets, and you get to sit in the like infamous egg chair, and it kind of evaluates like your stressors, what's stressing you, and that's kind of where I first understood like my triggers, and so they gave me like a lot of techniques to kind of manage it and get through it, and so I think I did decently well up until I was like, gosh, probably I had just come back from like my second deployment, and it was like in 2000, probably 17, and
Mhm.
I think I was like, I don't know how old I was at
Mhm.
2017. But anyway, still early 20s.
Mhm.
And so I got shingles.
Oh
Yes.
wow.
And I was like, something's got to give. I was
Mhm.
so stressed out. I was an XO, and I was in a field artillery battalion, which is traditionally mostly men. It's combat arms. And I was not a combat arms officer. But I was just so stressed out after deployment. And I was just like, I'm so stressed out and so anxious that I'm making myself sick.
Mhm.
And so after that, I think my repair packet was probably already in before I even left deployment. I was not playing with them. I was like, I'm out of
Mhm.
here. And I was just like, something's got to give. Like, I have to find something that's like not gonna stress me out. Because I just did not want to take any medication.
Mhm.
And so, because I know I'm just easily stressed out, I do a lot of things that make my life easy. Um, because I know health is wealth,
Mhm.
and anything that gets my nervous system out of whack, like I just can't do it. There's only so much self help you can do.
Mhm.
There's only so many therapists I
Yeah.
can go to. There's only so many times I can repeat the same shit.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's just the reality of it. And so, um, kind of figuring out and tailoring my lifestyle to
Mhm.
accommodate my stress
Mhm.
and to accommodate my nervous system, is kind of how I have maneuvered it and how I've gotten here this long. I think if I was maybe just quote unquote normal and hadn't grown up anxious,
Mhm.
like I think maybe I wouldn't have experienced burnout until later on in life.
Mhm.
But I learned mine, unfortunately, at a very early age. So it may appear that I'm a little more refined. It just means I learned my lessons a little
Mhm.
sooner. And I was just like, something's got to give. Like, you know, like I do want to be here, but I also want to be healthy while I'm still here.
Mhm.
But yeah, shingles.
Wow.
Yes,
I
so
think I've
painful.
age. I think I've always experienced burnout until some
Mm,
point. I just think I'm a very driven person,
mm-hmm,
so I always have to do. I always have to move on to the next thing. I always have to do this for the next promotion or the next advancement or whatever the case may be. And I've been that way my entire life in school. I mean, I went to summer school because I didn't get the 2 points I needed for my regents in science. I didn't need that to graduate. I was still going to graduate with high honors at that. But no, your girl had to go to summer school to get my little two measly points
period.
for my regents.
I feel
To
that.
say what? Regents meant nothing outside of New York State. Nothing. Nothing. But um, I've always suffered from migraines since I was very young. And it's not until up until recently this year I realized migraines probably was always my first sign of, hey, you're doing too much, figure out something else. But I'm
Mm,
also young. You're also taught. I mean, there's no such thing as a woman of leisure. We're taught that growing up. So it's a lot of things I just, swept underneath the rug. Like, no, this is up until the point, the moments where your body just gives out one day. You're like, oh, I can't get out of bed. I'm tired. I got a migraine. I can't do it. I've gone through that, gave my body a day, and then jump right back to whatever it was I was doing. Like, oh, yep, that's my body just telling me I need to take my day. And
mm,
then, and your body's physically forcing you to do that. But like you said, I didn't learn any of the tools to pivot from that. So, It's not up until recently. And shout out to friends I have that are doing and getting certified for the healing process for us and teaching me breath work, teaching me eat in a day. Don't go all day without eating or just eat one meal. And finding those tools, walking, like you said, your nervous system, um, and all those tools. Like I said, I had no clue what to do with that in college. What's a tool? What's that?
Yeah. No, I feel that it's tough. And I'll probably say that like I was only open to doing something different because my background is in psychology.
Right.
But that's not the household I grew up in. That's not what was ingrained in me. Um, like me and my mom laugh about it now, but like she called me lazy when I was younger, and I was just like, "This is smarter, not harder." Like if I don't
Mhm.
want to do that, I'm not gonna do that. Like if anybody out there knows me, y'all know I'm not trying to do no manual labor, no nothing. If somebody's there who can do it for me, I'm gonna ask them, can they help me?
Mhm.
Because like for what? Like I've carried like 30 to 60 pound rugs as like a 5'1" little bitty 100 pound
Mhm.
person in college. Like I'm not doing it. Like
Mhm.
like I'm past. I'm past it. Trust me, I am past it. Um, but when you're talking about pivoting, I think that'll be like a good discussion for another episode. But like, I'm an infamous pivoter or quitter. Take it
Pivot.
how you want
I
it.
like the word pivot.
Cause, baby, I'm gonna be out of there quicker than you can count to five. But yeah, no, thanks for sharing. And so with that, we'll just transition to what has helped us. So we're talking any personal practices, whether that's setting boundaries, therapy, slow mornings, or saying no. And if you say no, into
Mm.
what?
Yes, all of the above.
Okay.
Boundaries for sure, especially with work. It's always been that saying, when you come to work, leave your problems at the door. You're coming to do work. Same thing. When you go home, leave work at home. Um, Make it known. I'm to the point too. I've started seeing like signatures in emails for people underneath their name that
Mm,
shows you the time and the days that they work.
mm,
And I'm finding a way to pivot towards that. You could change your Outlook calendar to show your days and your times that you work. Literally setting those boundaries, like, oh hey, I'm home, but what is it that you need help with? Or if I don't answer, just know I'll get back to you on my next business day. um, Boundaries for sure. Like we talk about getting into fitness, heavy on the walks. I joined the run movement at some point, but I broke my foot after my 5K, but I did it.
it's done.
Done, did, check mark. But yeah, no, now I'm walks doing 10 miles. A few of those we got in our pocket, right? Um, Outside of that, therapy, of course, always an advocate for therapy. I know we're taught not to tell people your business, but therapy for sure. Can't highly recommend that to everyone. Like, can't say it enough. Therapy. Um, what else? Nose. I'm recently getting into the nose. Um, though I can come across as harsh or a person that does speak my mind or someone that doesn't take any BS. Believe it or not, no is tough for me. However, uh, no's have been one of the things to lighten my load, makes my shoulders feel lighter. Um, so definitely learning to know. It's like, oh no, I got something else on my plate. I can't handle that right now, and being okay to say that. The end. Nothing else left to explain or anything like that. Just no.
Mm,
It's someone I posted on. I'm gonna always reference Instagram. You know my reference. But the guy said, "Hey, black women deserve to say no."
mm.
So no. Period.
Yep.
So that's yeah.
It's a complete sentence and
Mhm.
always will be.